Attorney Darren Indyke testified to the House Oversight Committee about his former client Jeffrey Epstein today because on July 23rd of last year, Attorney Bradley Edwards, who has represented hundreds of Epstein survivors, said this, mentioning his name on this program.
I have numerous clients who know of the authenticity and the existence of the birthday book. Of course, it was a birthday book that was given to Jeffrey Epstein on his 50th birthday by Ghislaine Maxwell. Jeffrey Epstein's dead. He has an estate. Everybody who knows anything about the story knows the estate exists, and it's being governed by the two executors, Darren Indyke, Jeffrey Epstein's former attorney, Richard Kahn, Jeffrey Epstein's former accountant. Those are the two executors. If somebody simply called them on the phone and said, "Give us the book," they would probably give you the book.
Congressman Ro Khanna was the next guest on this program that night. He was paying attention. He took Bradley Edwards' suggestion about issuing a subpoena to the Epstein estate to the Oversight Committee, and that is how the Oversight Committee got the birthday book that revealed Donald Trump's signature on a birthday note to Jeffrey Epstein that included a drawing of a naked woman and the words, "May every day be another wonderful secret." In his publicly released opening statement to the committee today, Darren Indyke said, "Let me be clear, I had no knowledge whatsoever of Jeffrey Epstein's wrongdoings." Darren Indyke pointed out that as a co-executor of the Epstein estate, he has awarded $169 million in claims to 195 women and expects to authorize a total of, quote, more than $200 million to women who assert they were abused or trafficked by Mr. Epstein. Darren Indyke told the committee not a single woman has ever accused me of committing sexual abuse or witnessing sexual abuse, nor claimed at any time that she or anyone else reported to me any allegation of Mr. Epstein's abuse. Had I known that he was abusing or trafficking women, I would have quit working for him at once and severed all ties to him. After Darren Indyke completed his under oath deposition, Southern California Congressman Dave Min said this.
I have to say I'm very surprised that he did not take the Fifth Amendment. I think it's very likely he perjured himself over and over and over again. And just to give you a few examples, I'm not going to go into detail, but, he claimed, and I think this is in the statement you all received, that he had no knowledge of any women or girls, and yet that doesn't account for the fact that numerous women have described how he helped them fix their problems. One woman had described how he had helped her get an apartment. He helped women with their immigration issues. He reportedly told a number of women not to talk to police when the police started investigating Epstein. It's just not credible to claim that you had no knowledge of what was happening.
Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California, a member of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman Khanna, what did you make of the testimony today?
Well, first of all, Lawrence, I appreciate the monologue because it can't be said enough that if you didn't have Bradley Edwards on that show, we would have no Indyke deposition. We would have none of these depositions in oversight. That triggered the entire oversight investigation, and we wouldn't have gotten the release of the Epstein files because the only reason we had the survivors on the Capitol is because Bradley Edwards was on your show. And I just want to always say that. But look, Indyke, he gave us some information. The biggest information he gave us is that there were private investigators who have apparently hard drives with Epstein's information on there, and he said that some of the messages were encrypted that Epstein used. So we will be pursuing the getting these hard drives because that could really be explosive, what's on those hard drives. He, though, just was not honest. I mean, he said that he was withdrawing all of this cash in $7,500 increments. Who does that? And that somehow it wasn't used to pay some of the women that Epstein allegedly was abusing. That's just not plausible. And as David Min said, his testimony that he didn't know what Epstein was doing for decades is not plausible.
He, in his written statement, he said he started working for him in 1996, and then after Jeffrey Epstein pled guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor, he believed that Jeffrey Epstein was basically sorrowful about that and would never do it again. Was that credible?
It was not credible. The idea that he was withdrawing money and paying these women who were maybe allegedly girls, it just shows that he knew what was going on. The fact that he was with Epstein for decades shows that he was going on. And I, too, am surprised that he didn't plead the Fifth Amendment, because he's in a world of trouble. But you know what upsets the American people with so many folks is the cover-up, the idea that we don't have people telling the truth about their involvement or the involvement of other men. And what is infuriating is that Pam Bondi isn't investigating this. How is it just that the Oversight Committee is investigating it? Why is there not an investigation into Indyke and possible prosecution? That is really the two tiers of justice that we have in this country.
Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.